after 6. And then it can also use Crescent Drive that goes down from the Crescent Hotel past the little Catholic Church to Spring Street.
Oh, it does go the whole way down Spring Street after 6 o'clock.
Part of Spring Street we can use anytime. Most of the Spring Street area from Crescent Spring on down to Spring and Main has to be used after 6 or with special permission from the police department before 6.
You're not using Spring Street right now, are you? I don't see...
I come up Spring Street as far as Center Street usually, but now there are occasions where we pick up people on my route, mind you, from Hillside Avenue at the bed and breakfast there, and then we come up Hillside Avenue to Spring and then down to Spring and Main and then go back to Hillside Avenue and drop them off. So our two routes do overlap on Spring Street. That's the only place they overlap, and that's been that way for forever. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Bramer?
You guys mostly, instead of going out to 62, you mostly just turn around the hospital, right?
Most of our rides were 30 minutes, and right there by the hospital or kind of by 14 Kings Highway was a good place to turn around. They give you 30 minutes.
Yeah, but the way the thing is written, they're allowed to go to the end of the Ozarks, like to pick up a wedding party from the end of the Ozarks and go back to the Crescent or vice versa. It's set up that way. It's just not been used that way in quite a while because there's not been a call for it. And she does the same thing, or used to do the same thing that I do, is we alter the route that we take by time to do the rides efficiently and get in people, in the same amount of time for each ride. So there are certain routes that I have available to me now that I don't use all the time, because if I use them all the time, I'd only get in 3 rides a day.
Ms. Blankenship?
On your application, Mr. Tharp, it says that you have 2 horses and 2 carriages. Now, is this 2 horses and 2 carriages just dedicated for this new application that you're going to be going? Or are you going to use the 2 horses and 2 carriages in your route, in your work now, and just split them one at each place?
I will address that shortly, I promise. I've got that here in my little prepared statement. I was just waiting on everybody to get all their letters of recommendation tossed around. I'll address that right here.
Why don't you go ahead?
Okay. I've been in continuous operation for the last 10 years, weather permitting. I'm not a big businessman. I'm a local. I don't have dozens of carriages. Right now it's not financially responsible for me in this economy to open up a bunch of carriages that won't get used. I'll only use what are needed and add more carriages as needed. The plans right now are to buy an extra carriage to put up at the Crescent Hotel, which will mean my business will own 3 carriages total, which I'll distribute accordingly to their need. And then as time progresses each quarter, if my profits are up enough, I'll go ahead and buy another carriage if it's required that we have enough business to buy another carriage. And as we do that, I'll make sure and bring it before council and let them know what's going on that situation. My family and I go back about 4 and 5 generations, respectively, in these hills. The income I create here stays here in Carroll County, if not here in town proper. Being just 3 miles from my carriage depot makes a great difference. I have the advantage of being able to keep costs down and thereby being able to come to town for as little as 1 reservation. I support my local businesses by sending my clients to them, and they in return send me more business. It's a very productive, symbiotic relationship. High tide rises all boats. What you may or may not know is that I do not do carriage rides. I give historical and informational guided tours. Once on the carriage, I do something quite unique. I educate folks, not only about what's going on that particular weekend, but events that are of interest in upcoming seasons. And beyond the basics of tourist information, my drivers and I go a step further. We take them back in time 150 years and teach them the truly one-of-a-kind history that is our home and my family's heritage. We leave them wanting more of Eureka Springs. What I offer is not simply an expansion of carriage rides or potential income for the city as a whole, but instead I will continue to increase the education of the masses who may be unaware of the volumes of historical and vacation opportunities our town has to offer, other than the wedding that they may be here for attending for the first time. My drivers and I give them reasons to come back to Eureka. Moreover, we give them a special moment in time that they will tell their family and coworkers about when they get home, giving our town a return that can be measured tenfold. I already have Eureka locals hired and trained to drive. I have 3 more drivers waiting in the wings, waiting for me to find out if I get this franchise tonight, because they'll be the ones that are going to be trained, along with myself, to drive at the Crescent Hotel. And with our expansion of business, we already have plans to buy at least 1 carriage from Miss Ada immediately. And we have another horse that we're going to look at in Little Rock tomorrow morning and see if he's fit for the duty of the job. If he is, we'll bring him back with us. So yes, our plans are for immediate expansion and adding more carriages up there as it's financially responsible to do so. Like I said, I don't have the great big inventory that he has. He's got that great big inventory, and he's ready to go right now. I'm a small business owner. I do what I can. Like I said, with the economy the way it is, I can't go out and buy 6 brand new carriages. But what I will do is get at least 1 more carriage and 1 more horse to get up there to start with, which again will give me a total of 3 horses and carriages to operate with that I can split up wherever they're needed the most. If they need to be up at the Crescent, I'll bring them up there. If they need to be down on Main Street, I can bring them down here. But either way, I'll have enough to service what the need is. And if it shows us the first year that we're in business that we need more than 1 carriage up there immediately, we'll go and get another carriage and another horse and have 2 up there and 2 down here, or combination of the 4. If we need to take all 4 up to the Crescent for a busy weekend or a busy wedding, we can do that too. And just, distribute them where they need to go. The other thing that I feel like I need to touch on with you all, just so you know, it's in the ordinance that 1 operator is allowed to have 2/3 of the carriage franchises. That's Mr. Weaver made sure that was in the ordinance so that everybody knows ahead of time that it is available to me to go ahead and have 2 franchises. With them being adjoining franchises also makes it a lot easier on me to be able to service both areas. It's going to be really convenient because I can have everything in 1 location and be able to service both from that location.
Just so that council knows, in his application, his insurance papers are not in there. He says that he will have it tomorrow.
My insurance agent is in Utah. The underwriting company is in Great Britain. They're on a slightly different time schedule than we are, but they said my fax on the insurance confirmation should be here at 9 in the morning, at which time I'll bring it down here and put it in the city council's folder. If we need to make my franchise approval contingent on the proof of insurance, that's perfectly fine. I don't mind. If I've waited 10 years to get this, so if I need to wait an extra day or 2, that's fine. I'm not planning on going up there tomorrow and opening up carriage rides tomorrow night. Again, it's going to take some time to go up there and figure out the routes for myself. Figure out where the good spots are to drive, where the good spots aren't. Learn the history of the houses and the different businesses up there so that I know what's going on before we just blindly go up there and start driving around.
Any questions? Mr. Bramer?
Actually, I'd just like to apologize to Ada for calling you by the wrong last name. So forgive me for that, Miss Jensen. No, they both actually have very nice applications.
You have any questions for Mr. Tharp while he's up here?
Actually, I think you addressed everything very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'd make a motion to extend the franchise in question to Thomas Tharp.
Okay, there's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Discussion? Ms. Schneider?
We have another application from another person. Do we not need to hear this?
We did.
Oh, I missed that one? Well, Tom's listed first.
Put them both together. You
Number
missed the
2.
first part, too.
Okay, in that case. All righty, thank you. Sorry again.
Mr. Brown?
The thing that I would like to say is, my feeling is instead of, giving a franchise, 2 franchises to 1 individual, I kind of feel like it would be more beneficial to spread it out and actually have 3 individuals. That's kind of my only opinion as far as both of them actually have very impressive applications, and